Hi everybody, TheSussexBIker here and welcome to my review of the BMW C400X. Well then, she's looking at me like, what the hell are you doing? I think the same myself, to be honest. Well, here we have today a BMW C400X scooter. Now I have to be honest, I've never really been into scooters. They've never been my thing. I have to say that having ridden this, it's actually a blast. And I think in the current climate with fuel prices the way they're going, something like this, if you're doing a commute, could make sense. Yeah, I mean, it's got that sort of lopsided front look with the headlight, nice big indicators, but I think, you know, it looks quite smart. It's not a bad looking thing at all. Stainless steel exhaust. So yeah, claimed tank range of 226 miles, claimed MPG of 80 miles to the gallon. It's a 350cc engine, and it's about 33 brake horsepower. It's more than enough to keep up on a commute. The fit and finish is as I'd expect of a BMW. Very nicely finished off. Looks nice. Switch gears nice and simple. It's got the typical TFT dash that most of them have now. Well, I think all the BMWs have it now. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. Got all your settings in there. You can have an urban screen. You can do turn-by-turn navigation, stream your media to it, connect your telephone. You've got settings. So yeah, very good indeed. So let's have a look at some of the other features. You've got little cubbies here, one there, I don't know if you see that. And you've got another one here with a USB socket in it. And then under here, which I think this is really clever, it's called BMW Flex Case. We do that, and you can push this down, you can get a full face helmet in there, which I think is really clever. Bit of storage there at the front. Yeah, it's very good. So that's a quick look round the bike. Yeah, let's get on it and take it for a ride. It's little things like this, look, on the stand. Let me just get back off. I think this is pretty cool. There's a nice big loop on the stand. I don't know if you can see that. So that when you get on it, it's quite easy just to kick the kickstand back. You've got to push one of the brakes to get it started. So let's do that. There we go. So straight away, compared to riding a motorcycle, it does feel a little bit weird when you first get on it. So in the standard dash display, you've just got a nice big speedo, you've got your temperature in the bottom left, time in the bottom right, and at the top you can scroll through your range, your trip meters and all that sort of stuff. But we can go down to urban, which gives us a nice big tachograph in a bar fashion. Brakes are good, very good. It's got ABS and I believe it's got traction control as well. The only weird thing I find getting off a motorcycle onto this is where you're used to having your feet on pegs. When you come to a stop and you go to put your feet down, it's a bit weird because you've got to move them outwards to get them down, sort of thing. It takes a bit of getting used to, but it's a bit disconcerting at first. You're like, oh, where's the ground? And actually, slow speed riding, it's quite amazing. This is actually really easy to ride at slow speed. Weighs in at about 206 kilos, I believe. The only thing that it's not so good for is like now overtaking, like this car's doing 48.50. On my 1250 I could be past this in seconds, but with this you've got to plan your overtakes and, you know, really execute them carefully. But I feel comfortable, I feel quite safe on it. Took me a little while to get used to the mirrors, but they do provide an adequate view to the rear. So I think first we'll go and take it on some sort of country lanes just to see what it's like, and then we might do a bit of town work, which is more its you know, usual environment, I guess. But I have to say, I quite like this. For something that's never been on my radar, you know, I think for commuting, why not? Twist and go, it's easy, just get on it and go. Right, let's go. So it's surprising, the pickup isn't that bad. There you go, I'm just about to hit 55. There we go, there's 60. It's not bad, is it? Sorry if there's too much wind noise. I can really hear it, even though I've got earplugs in, I can hear it buffeting my helmet. Let's see if we get past this guy. Yeah, we can. You know, even at 30 miles an hour, it's just quite smooth. Let's have a look what revs we're doing actually. So there you go, at 30 miles an hour, we are doing 4,300 revs. Oh, they're going to wave at me because I'm on a scooter. Bear in mind I've got my full leathers on. Yay! They did nod. Amazing. Let's do a 30 to 60. No, that's full throttle. And there we go, 60. Well, just about. Pretty much. So it's not too bad. But then you've got to look at what this is designed for. It's not designed to be, it's not a sports bike by any stretch of the imagination. You know, this is designed for getting you from one place to another, probably your place of work. It's quite fun just keeping the speed up, just tipping it into the bends, and yeah, it's fun. I've actually got a smile on my face. This is good fun. So at 60 mile an hour, we're doing 6,100 RPM. Weather protection doesn't seem too bad. There seems to be a lot of wind blast to my head. I just tip forward slightly to try and take use of that screen. Yeah, you can. I can hear a bit of a difference, but I wonder if you can get a bigger screen for it. So yeah, engine-wise performance, it's never going to set the world alight. BMW claim that it will do 86 miles an hour. I think these start at just over £6,000, and then if you add options, then obviously the price goes up. Certainly in this, as this scooter is, it's got the keyless, it's got the TFT, ABS, traction control. That little USB port's quite handy, but I know that's kind of standard on most things now, but it's still a nice touch. So yeah, there's not a lot to dislike about this, to be honest with you. Fuel consumption wise, like I said, 80 miles to the gallon is claimed. Given you a tank is 12.8 litres, which gives you 226 miles. I have not ridden it or had it long enough to test that. Certainly the onboard display is saying 80 miles to the gallon, and that's pretty good. You know, when you think about the price of fuel and costs going up, then it brings that into focus. I mean, I did some really interesting comparisons for over the commuting distance that I do, this versus my 1250 RS. The 1250 RS they claim is 45, 48 to the gallon, or 47 or something. I generally see 50 on mine, to be honest. and you know, over the course of sort of 3,000 miles, it's about 173 quid difference, which is, you know, not a life-changing amount of money, but it's still a big saving, you know. There's a lot of fun to be had on this actually, if you've got a clear road, just keeping the speed up at 60 and just turning and cornering, and it's a hoot. You really can throw this about. It's really nimble. Just lean it in. There you go. So let's try these indicators out. I'm indicating right. There you go. Cancelled itself. Simple but clever. I think we're going to have to try some filtering, aren't we? Yeah, I think we will. Yeah, it's nice and nimble, this. Very good. Go. Yep, certainly feels at home. Feels as you would expect. Nice and smooth. Oh, and I almost forgot, this has got heated seat and heated grips. I know heated grips are quite common now, and even heated seats on some bigger bikes. But I've got to be honest, the heated seat on this is thermonuclear. It's got 3 settings, and on 3 it does burn your ass. So I would imagine in winter that's a really nice thing to have. Certainly the low speed pickup is good. So in closing, what do I think? Well, yeah, I quite like it. It's a thumbs up from me. It's well equipped, it's comfortable, it's smooth, it's got great fuel economy, it looks quite good. Keyless as well. I mean, what else do you want? Anyway, I hope this I hope this video is useful. Thanks for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Ride safe.